The Dragon's armada was being forged in fire and steel. With the revolutionary blueprint of the CNS Kunming and the validation of mass production in the CNS Changsha, the People's Liberation Army Navy, or PLAN, had cracked the code. They were building a world-class fleet of destroyers at a speed the world had never seen. The crisis of quantity was being solved, but in solving it,
A fleet of
they
brand
unearthed
new,
the final,
powerful
most
warships
difficult and
is
most
not a
dangerous
navy.
challenge of all.
It is a collection
The
of
problem of
impressive but
professionalism.
untested hardware.
A fleet of brand new, powerful warships is not a navy. It is a collection of impressive, expensive, and untested hardware. A true navy is a living organism, a complex ecosystem of highly trained sailors, experienced commanders, and flawless, battle-ready doctrine. It's the critical difference between owning a garage full of supercars and having a team of world champion racing drivers who can win the 24 hours of Le Mans. For the plan, a force with 7 decades of experience as a coastal defense navy, the vast, unforgiving blue oceans of the world were a new and unfamiliar racetrack. They had the cars, but could they actually race? This was the final invisible barrier. An inexperienced blue water navy is a profound danger, mostly to itself. A mishandled refueling operation in heavy seas, a failure to effectively track a quiet enemy submarine, a poorly managed response to a complex electronic warfare attack. Any of these could lead to a tactical failure or a strategic catastrophe. The United States Navy and other established naval powers have spent a century writing their operational rulebooks in the unforgiving ink of real-world crises, combat, and countless grueling exercises. China was attempting to write its own in real time, under the watchful, critical eye of the entire world. Every far seas deployment was a high-stakes final exam. The world's naval analysts watched every move, looking for signs of unprofessionalism, for flaws in their command and control, for any indication that the hardware was better than the software. The plan's new armada was powerful, but was it proficient? Was it truly ready to take its place as a top-tier global navy? Or was it a hollow force? A dragon with the body of a giant but the inexperience of a child? To prove its maturity, it needed to do more than just build ships. It needed to master them. It needed to graduate from the classroom and prove itself on the world stage. The solution was a deliberate and highly visible campaign to forge experience in the most demanding arenas possible. It was a new phase focused not on launching ships, but on honing the skills of the sailors who would fight them. The ship that would become a quiet symbol of this new, professional phase was the third destroyer of Project 052D, a vessel named for the capital of Anhui Province, the CNS Hefei, hull number 174. The Hefei was a statement of a navy coming of age. Commissioned in late 2015, she was not a prototype or a proof of concept. She was part of the new standard, a product of a refined and efficient production process. But her true importance was not in her steel, but in her mission. She and her early sisters were the ships that would serve as the floating academies, the crucibles in which the plan would forge its new generation of professional, blue water sailors, assigned to the critical Southern Theater Command. The Hefei's role was clear: to move beyond basic operations and begin mastering the complex high-end art of modern naval warfare. She was not the first nor the second, but her arrival and the missions she would immediately undertake were a powerful symbol of the plan's transition from building an armada to mastering one. The proof of this new phase of maturation came not from a secret test, but from the most public stage imaginable. In 2016, just
Hefei
months
closed
after
the
her
final,
commissioning,
most difficult
the brand new
experience
CNS
gap with the
Hefei did
world's
something
established
unprecedented.
naval powers.
She sailed across the Pacific and participated in the world's largest international maritime exercise, the American-led Rim of the Pacific, or RIMPAC. This was a stunning move. For weeks, this state-of-the-art Chinese destroyer operated alongside and was scrutinized by the very navies it was designed to counter, including the U.S. Navy. We see the real-world proof in the footage. The Hefei maneuvering in close formation with American and Allied warships, her crew participating in complex drills, her helicopter landing on the decks of other nations' ships. Her performance was, by all accounts, highly professional, safe, and competent. It was a powerful demonstration of a new confidence and transparency. It proved that the plan was not afraid to have its skills tested on the world stage. The Hefei's deployments only became more ambitious. She became a workhorse of the Southern Fleet, a constant presence in the South China Sea. She took part in the first-ever joint naval exercises between China and the ASEAN nations. She deployed on long-range patrols deep into the Indian Ocean. The Hefei and her sisters were no longer just learning to sail. They were learning to lead, to command, and to operate as a seamless, professional, and proficient fighting force. The Dragon was not just swimming. It was mastering the art of the hunt. The legacy of the CNS Hefei is that she is the ship that represents the mastery of the craft. She is the embodiment of the moment that China's naval power transitioned from a story about impressive hardware to a story about world-class software, the human skill, the doctrine, and the experience that turns a fleet into a truly formidable force. While the Kunming was the blueprint and the Changsha proved it could be copied, the Hefei was the ship that proved the design could be mastered. Her successful and professional performance on the global stage, particularly at RIMPAC, was the moment the world's navies had to acknowledge that the plan was no longer just a rising power, but a present and highly proficient one. She is the quiet professional, the ship that closed the final, most difficult gap with the world's established naval powers, the experience gap. The CNS Hefei is more than a destroyer. She is a symbol of a navy that has come of age. She is a testament to a nation's ability to not only build the world's most advanced warships, but to master them. In the high-stakes, professional world of global naval operations, the presence of these